Hey everyone, Monique Renee here at Silver Paw Studio. I'm filming in a different corner. What do you think? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. What do you think of this corner? Today, let's talk about my 6 tasks for getting started with your pet photography business. Now, I'm going to go over all 6 steps here. If you want a printable checklist, it is available at propetphotog.com for a small fee. If you are part of the Community Center membership, it just comes with your membership. But you can take notes on this video and get the gist of this. What happens a lot of times is we overcomplicate the starting a business task list. It's daunting, it's overwhelming, and we get caught up in the weeds and the details. And what happens a lot of times is one of those little things snags us and we freeze. We don't get any further. So I wanted to make this video with 6 simplified steps to starting your pet photography business. Now, I know there's a lot more details. I know that. So obviously add those details in, spend more time on some of these tasks if you think you need to. But I'm telling you, you can just do these 6 things and be up and running with doors open legally within just a few weeks, depending on just how long some of the things out of your control take. And I'll go over those in just a second. It's hot in here. Now, if you're still on the fence, wondering if you should start a pet photography business, watch this video and it gives you a 2-step kind of quiz or test to find out if you're ready. Okay, you're back. Now, let's jump right into task number 1, which you may have already put a ton of thought into, and that is choosing a business name. Oh gosh, there are so many ways you can go on this. Some people are adamant about using their own name. Some people are adamant about using a studio name. Some people, you want photography in the name, or, cutesy name or serious name. And oh my gosh, stop overthinking it. You can start with your name. I have gone through 3 names, I think. Can I tell you something embarrassing? I started with the name You've Been Framed Photography. What's that? I was doing mostly people photography, high school seniors and families. Ditched that. Then I went with my name, Monique Renee Photography. And as you can imagine, that is really long. And again, that was my people brand. And at that point, I also started my pet photography brand, which is what you know now, Silver Paw Studio. And I eventually just dissolved the Monique Renee Photography. So really at this point, Silver Paw Studio is a DBA, doing business as, under my legal name of Monique Renee Photography. So it's totally okay and normal to change your business name over time for a variety of reasons. The one problem that I have with my name is that people sometimes don't know what the studio part means. In the town that I'm in, we're very well known for like sculpture art and those kinds of studios. So often people get a little bit confused what kind of studio, but I'm pretty well established now and people know. So please don't overthink your name. You can just start with your name and go from there. But one other tip there is check the URLs and social medias. If you've chosen your name and it's pretty like common name or a name that people use a lot, check that. Even if you're not using your name, like Paw Print Photography, that might be something that lots and lots of people use. So you may have to incorporate something like your town name or dog photography or something like that. So just do a quick check of URLs. I know you can on GoDaddy. Domain name search is what you need to look for, and the socials. So keep that in mind too. Okay, task 2 is the really fun one that we're all gonna spend way too much time on. And can change and probably will change over time. It's your logo and your branding. I know it's super fun to pick your colors and the pieces of your logo and fonts and all that, but trust me, don't overcomplicate it. You could design this yourself in Canva. You can hire a designer. There's all kinds of ways you can do this. I think last year I changed my logo 3 times, and I'm kind of back to where I was before. Please don't overthink it. Again, you can just use your name in text. And I actually often use that as a watermark that's a little less obtrusive. So don't go crazy with the logo. Do something basic, pick a color, pick a font. Designers are going to tell you to have maybe 2 or 3 colors and 2 or 3 fonts. That's fine. You'll get to that, but pick one of each and go with it. Don't get hung up on this stage too long, okay? Okay, now you've got your studio name and logo, probably found a URL. Here's kind of the part that you're gonna, I don't wanna do this. It's the legal stuff. I've just titled this section, The Legal Stuff, okay? You need to do this, even if you're part-time, even if it's a side gig, even if you're only doing it 1 Saturday a month, do the legal stuff. I can't stress that enough. You need to get your business name. Now, I'm not going to go into specifics because I am in Colorado. You might be in Canada or Atlanta or wherever, and your city, state, county, and federal laws will all be a little bit different. But generally, you sign up for a business name or a trade name, a legal entity type name. You get a tax ID federally here and a state sales tax license, and that varies widely. Some places charge tax on digital products, some don't. There's a lot of issues and you know, things you need to look into for taxes, but please do that. Get your business name secured legally, get your taxes legally. What else we got here? Yeah, so get those things done with the government. What's really great is most cities, most areas have an entity that will help you with this. They don't want you to do this wrong. So here we have the SBDC, the Small Business Development Council, which is, I think, part of SBA, Small Business something, SBA here in the US. Your Chamber of Commerce will often have one. There's usually some kind of org that will help you put all of these complicated pieces together. And if anything, there's a checklist that your area will have on your legal websites. Do this, this, and this. Once you get it done, it's done. So just dig in, spend a day, get it done. This is the one step that has something out of your control. So it may take a while to process some of these, but please do this as soon as you have your name figured out. And along the lines of legal stuff, also look into business insurance. Making any contracts that you want. I don't use a lot of contracts in my studio. I will list 2 places that I know of that has contracts. That is the Law Tog, and I want to say Shot Kit. I will put links in the description. So look at some of those. If you know an attorney, just have them type one up. So contracts, this would be maybe the place to do that. You can edit these over time too. It just gets a little more expensive. So if you want contracts, now's the time. Get some business insurance and also get a bank account in your business name. So for a while, when I moved to Colorado, I had my business and personal account together. Big no-no, because I just didn't take the time to go to the bank. And then one day my personal account was frozen because of some credit card fraud that happened to me, and my business account was frozen. Don't do that. So secure your business account, which they're just going to want the paperwork that you got from the government entities. It's pretty easy. So get a bank account as well. So there you go, the legal stuff. It's on that checklist at propetphotog.com, or rewind and make some notes, okay? Legal stuff. We did it. Task number 4 is to build a website. Legitimate businesses have a website. Say it with me. Legitimate businesses have a website. Last summer, I did record a couple of videos about the key points I think you need on a website, and I even got my website designer to chime in on that. So if you have questions about what to put on your website, go check that out. I'll put a card here and link in the description. But you really cannot use your Facebook account or social media accounts as your business page. We have seen those come and go. The algorithms change, the rules change, everything changes all the time. That is rented property. Build yourself a website. Whether you get a designer like I did, you build a Wix site, a Squarespace site, whatever it takes, get the basics in there. This is where you're gonna funnel everybody to. You're gonna have your beautiful gallery in there. You're gonna have your contact information and a little bit about your studio and what you offer. That's the bare bones basics. But please, please, make a website. So you're gonna have to go do that domain name search, grab your URL, and then start building. This could take a couple of months, depending on how robust you want it, but really just gather a few pictures, your contact information, and information about your studio, and make something at least one page so you can just get off and running. Web pages are another thing that evolve over time. Okay, task 5 is going to be funner. Now that you've got your website, you can put these links on your website, and that's all the socials. Woohoo! My recommendation is that you gather every single social media platform you think you might use someday and just get them even if you don't post them, okay? Do you know what I mean? So let's say Silver Paw Studio, I have a Twitter account. I hardly ever use it, but I have it. You know, when I do a speaking gig, Twitter's a good place to announce that. There's certain platforms have different audiences. So grab all of them with your new name and then put the same image of yourself or logo and contact information on all of those so it's all cohesive. So if someone sees you here, they'll know it's you over here too. For photographers, generally we have Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. So at the very least, grab those and just kind of have them as placeholders. And then other ones, of course, would be YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. I don't know how many businesses really use Snapchat anymore, but there are some others. So gather any of those under your studio name, even if you're not going to post to them. Task 6, I'm kind of assuming you've already done, but I left it for last because we often use this to hold us back from opening our photography business too, and that is the gear. What? I assume you already have at least a small kit, or else you probably wouldn't be starting this business. And newsflash, it's probably good enough to start with. Here's what happens. No matter how much gear you have, no matter how new it is, how expensive it is, guess what? That company is going to post next week another shiny new gadget that you're going to want and they're going to tell you you need. No. You probably have the gear you need right now. Especially if you're an outdoor natural light photographer, you need a basic camera body and 1 or 2 lenses. The first 2 years of my studio, I had like a 24 megapixel crop sensor camera, a 50 millimeter prime, and an 85 millimeter prime, and a reflector. That's all I had. Buy yourself a cheap $100 speed light as well. I have a couple of videos here on this channel on how to use those outside to add that little sparkle, especially on dogs with the fluffy hair, but I digress. If you have a camera body and at least 1 or 2 lenses and maybe a speed light or reflector, that's really all you need, okay? Okay, and then once you start earning revenue, you can add to your kit. Don't give in to gear acquisition syndrome as much as you can. Now, if you found like you've been using this equipment for years, maybe at the shelter or on a volunteer basis, and it really, you can't squeeze any more life out of it, it's not gonna work, then look into new equipment. But I always suggest you rent it or borrow it from someone first before you invest in it. It'd be a bummer to start a business already in debt if you already have equipment that you can use that you've made beautiful images of already. Okay, so those are your 6 tasks. It's not that bad. It's not overcomplicated. I simplified it down and you can do this. You can start and get your business going and get clients in the door. And then you can kind of tweak these things over the years. If you want to add another font or change your logo a little bit or add another social media, you can add those in later. One thing that people don't often know is a business is an evolving endeavor, So it will change over time. It will. Now, these are just the first 6 basic tasks. Obviously, there's more things. And what do you do once the doors are open? Well, I will be recording videos about that. And if you're watching this later in the future, I will post them here. But I'll be talking about your finding clients, like marketing and pricing, all of that kind of stuff. I sprinkle throughout this channel too. So be sure that you paw that subscribe button and the like button if you would. Tell any friends that you know about this channel, because there's all kinds of great information. Of course, check out propetphotog.com as well. You might be at the perfect stage to join our monthly membership group, or there might be some other little nuggets in there that you can find useful on your journey right now. Okay, I think that's all I have to say for you for this week. And as always, I wish you many woofs, purrs, and TREATSs. It's hot in here. Okay. There's somebody in the hallway. Why is this weird? I don't know. Okay, aren't my stickers cute? Look at that. It's a corgi with sunglasses and a kitty cat. That's Kitty Cat Go. Yeah. Yum. And then I've got at the bottom a sticker from the shelter I work at. Yeah. How fun.